Is this a black woman? Well, that is what the state of Louisiana rules in 1970. Her name is Susie Guillory Phipps, and she was 48 years old when she went down to the local Bureau of Vital Records to obtain copies of her birth certificate. It was for her passport application, and she was planning a getaway, but nothing could prepare Susie for what happened next. Susie was flabbergasted that the state's Bureau of Vital Statistics had written in her race as colored on her birth certificate. "I'm not light," she said, pointing to her face. "I'm white." Phipps lived her entire life as a white woman, married to white men, had white children, and lived in a white community. And Susie had no idea that her fourth great-grandmother happened to be an enslaved woman named Margarita. Due to the state's meticulous birth record-keeping and race requirements on birth certificates, Phipps was forced to confront her ancestry. More than 60 terms, including mulatto, octoroon, quadroon, had evolved throughout the state's history to describe mixed-race people and to sort out the classes of free and enslaved people of color. But Phipps wanted nothing to do with any of them and went about the business of suing the state of Louisiana to be declared white. "I was shocked in disbelief, even sick," she later told reporters. "I couldn't believe it," and thus marked the beginning of a 5-year court battle to get the state of Louisiana to change her birth certificate and the certificates of her brothers and sisters. She also wanted the state's racial classification law declared unconstitutional. This 1970 Louisiana legislation, which was the only state in America to have such a race classification law, states that a person is black if they have 1/32nd Negro blood. In today's terms, that's about 3% sub-Saharan African DNA. Ms. Phipps was very persistent in her efforts, but the state heavily challenged her claim to whiteness. They spent $5,000 hiring a genealogical researcher and tracking Mrs. Phipps' heritage to prove that she is indeed black, with the final results concluding that she is 3/32 black. And an attorney for the state even added in to the record that Miss Phipps has known for years that she's colored. But what was the truth? Louisiana finally repealed this law in 1983, but Susie Guillory Phipps' request to have her whiteness validated on paper as evidenced by her life and by her appearance was ultimately denied by the Louisiana courts.